Good day my dear student friends. In this video session let us learn how to derive the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element by direct approach and using potential energy approach. Also we will derive the stress and strain matrix for 1D bar element in finite element method. Okay, let us derive the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element by direct approach. Before that, let us have a look on what do you mean by a stiffness. What do you mean by stiffness? For that I will consider a spring with one end is fixed and other end is applied with force F. Due to this applied force F, let the spring may have the displacement U. Okay. Due to that, the equilibrium equation we will get F is equal to K into U, where F is the applied force, U is the displacement due to that applied force, and K is the stiffness of the spring. This stiffness of the spring can be defined as it is the amount of force required or needed to cause unit displacement in a spring, that is K is equal to F by U. Okay. And the same concept can be applied to other bodies also. Only the spring, it is not necessarily only the spring may have the stiffness. Other bodies also will experience the stiffness. Now this concept can be applied to other bodies. Let us consider a simple bar subjected to an axial force F. Okay, axial force F. Here each location of the bar will have the freedom to move or to displace along the direction of force F, that is only in one direction. Now for this particular simple bar, by using Hooke's law, I will write stress is equal to E into strain, and stress stress is nothing but force by area, that is equal to Young's modulus into what is strain, that is strain in the bar is given by change in length by original length. That change in length is nothing but the displacement, that the same notation I will use as we have used in spring, U by U divided by original length L. Now if you rearrange this equation, we will get F is equal to AE by L into U. This equation is in this form, F is equal to KU. And now therefore from this equation we will come to know that the stiffness of the simple bar is given by AE by L, where A is the area of cross section of this simple bar, E is the Young's modulus of the material of the bar, and L is the length of the bar. Okay. Now likewise the stiffness can be defined as, it is stiffness of a body is defined as the force required to cause unit displacement in it. Okay. Now this is the stiffness value we got. This is the stiffness value for this simple bar with one end is fixed and other end is applied with the force. This stiffness can be, this is the value of the stiffness value at the bottom of this particular bar, only at the bottom. Okay. Now at other locations we will not get the stiffness values. This is the formula to find the stiffness value at the bottom of the bar. Now if for example if you consider this stepped bar, to find the stiffness value it is more complex now, because this stepped bar is having change in cross section, so that each step is having different cross sectional area, that is A1 and A2. So that let us discretize this stepped bar into two pieces, that is into two parts. Okay, these two pieces are interconnected by means of this one common node. Okay. Now here how to find the stiffness values? Here at each and every location you can find the stiffness values, so that we will now these two pieces or these two parts are called as finite elements in FEM, finite elements. Now let us consider one of the element of this one dimensional bar, and we will derive the stiffness matrix for this one dimensional bar, so that we can use that element stiffness matrix for a single element, and we will generate the matrices for both the elements or more than that, depends on the type of the problem, and after that we can assemble those matrices to get the global stiffness matrix and equilibrium equation to find the unknowns. Okay, this is how this procedure can be followed in finite element method. I hope you have understood clearly the definition of stiffness and what is the simple problem or what is the complex problem. Now let us derive the element stiffness matrix for one dimensional bar by direct approach. By using direct approach, now we will derive the element stiffness matrix for 1D bar, that is linear element. Linear element is nothing but the elements consisting of only the corner nodes are all called as linear elements. And now linear one dimensional element is nothing but having two nodes, only corner nodes 1 and 2. Okay, now let us consider an element with nodes I and j. Generic terms I have used I and j because so that we can define the stiffness influence Kij is defined as the force required at node I to cause unit displacement at node j. The force required at node I to cause unit displacement at node j. Okay, now that is what the Kij stiffness. Now let us consider a 1D bar element having two nodes 1 and 2. Because it is a linear element, at each node 1 degree of freedom, that is each node is permitted to displace only in one direction, that is x component of displacement. That means each node will have the freedom to displace only in one direction. Okay, now since each node is having only 1 degrees of freedom and one unknown u1 and u2, we will have the order of the stiffness matrix 2 cross 2, so that we will get 4 terms in the stiffness matrix, that is K11, K12 and K21, K22. These 4 stiffness terms we will find now. Okay, now I will consider the first case. Let us have unit displacement at node 1 due to the applied force F1, and the node 2 is provided with support F2, so that obviously the node 2 will experience the reaction force F2. Okay, now from this expression, whatever we have deduced, that F is equal to AE by L into U, we will apply here. Now due to applied force F1, unit displacement at node 1, we will get F1 is equal to AE by L into U1, and this can be written as F1 by U1 is equal to AE by L. What is this F1 by U1? That is, it can be written as K11. Just from the definition of the stiffness influence Kij from the strength of materials, that is Kij, it can be written as K11. How do you define? It is nothing but F1 by U1, that is force needed at node 1 to cause unit displacement at node 1, that is K11, and K11 we got AE by L. Now from node 2, the reaction force F2 is in same magnitude as F1 but in opposite direction. Then F2 can be written as minus F1, and this F2 is equal to minus AE by L into U1, because F1 is AE by L U1 minus AE by L U1. Now this expression can be written as, now in the next page we will discuss. Now F2 by U1 is equal to minus AE by L. We got, what is F2 by U1? F2 by U1 is nothing but K21, that is force needed at node 2 to produce or to cause unit displacement at node 1, because we will have unit displacement at node 1 only. At node 2 it is fixed, there is no displacement in the first case. Therefore K21 we got minus AE by L. Okay, I hope you are following. Next condition we will consider next case for having unit displacement at node 2. Now let us consider the node 2 will have unit displacement due to the applied force F2, and the node 1 will experience the reaction force because it is provided with support. Okay, now F2 can be written as applied force F2 is equal to AE by L U2. Okay, therefore F2 by U2 can be written as AE by L, that is F2 by E2 is nothing but, it is represented by K22, that is force needed at node 2 to produce unit displacement at node 2. Okay, therefore K22 is equal to AE by L. Now F1 is the reaction force, it is opposite in direction but same in magnitude, therefore F1 can be written as minus F2, and minus F2 already we know, minus AE by L U2. Okay, therefore now this expression can be written as F1 by U2 is equal to minus AE by L. This F1 by U2 can be represented by K12, that is force needed at node 1 to produce unit displacement at node 2 only, because we have considered unit displacement at node 2. K12 we got minus AE by L. Okay, now from the principle of superposition, if you do F1 and F2 from that particular method, from the simple principle of superposition, F1 and F2 you write, you will get in the matrix form AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 into U1 U2 into U1 U2. From this stiffness matrix can be found out, that is you are separating the terms, whatever we have found out from the first case F1 and F2 you write, from the second case F1 and F2 you write, and both F1 and F1 you add, F2 you add, you will get F1 expression and F2 expression. Those can be written in matrix form. You will get Ku is equal to F. From that K you will get AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This is what the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element we got. Now we know that the equilibrium equation F is equal to K into U. Okay, and where F is the applied forces F1 and F2 at nodes 1 and 2, and K is the stiffness matrix, and this is the K is the stiffness matrix, and U is the U1 U2. These are the unknowns at nodes 1 and 2. And what is K? K is the stiffness matrix, that is K11, K12, K21, K22. Already we have derived, we have found the stiffness values from the Kij definition of stiffness from the strength of materials. K11, K12, K21, K22. You just, if you substitute, we will get the stiffness matrix for an element having two nodes 1 and 2. Therefore, stiffness matrix for a single element of a 1D bar having two nodes is given by Ke is equal to AE by L. You take it outside, and inside you write 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Order of the stiffness matrix you will get 2 cross 2, because at each node only 1 degrees of freedom, that is one unknown. Okay, this is how we can derive the stiffness matrix for this 1D bar element. Okay, by deriving the stiffness matrix for this single element of a 1D bar, we can convert the complex, we can replace the complex problems to a simpler one by determining the stiffness matrices for all the elements of a bar by using this matrix, and assembling all those matrices to get the global stiffness matrix, and after applying elimination method, Gauss elimination method, to get the unknowns. Okay, now this is how you can derive the stiffness matrix. Okay, now we'll move on to the another approach of deriving the stiffness matrix. Okay, now let us derive the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element by PE approach. What is PE? Potential energy approach. Okay, we know that the potential energy is given by, potential energy is nothing but it is the summation of strain energy and the work potential. Strain energy is the energy which is generated due to energy gained due to the internal stresses, internal forces developed within the body, and work potential is due to the external force applied, that is external work done. Due to that, it is usually taken as a negative work potential. Okay, now let us consider a 1D bar element having two nodes again of length of the element Le, where AE is the area of the element and E is the Young's modulus of the element, Young's modulus of the material of the element E. Let us consider a 1D bar element with two nodes, at each node only 1 degrees of freedom, that already we have discussed in the previous derivation direct approach. Now, what is the strain energy for the element? We know that strain energy for the three elastic body is given by stress into strain into volume, integration of stress into strain into volume. That is what how you got this from the this one load deformation diagram. If you go through the strength of materials strain energy, wherein if you plot the graph, the load versus the deformation, then linearly it is increasing P and delta, then you will get the average of the strain energy is given by half into P into delta, where P is the load and delta is the deformation due to that particular load. From this you will come to know half stress into strain into area into length. The area into length is the volume. From that we know that stress into strain into volume. For strain energy of an element of a bar can be written as half of stress transpose into strain, because we have number of nodes for that number of elements we will get. Hence we will consider one component stress transpose into strain into dV, that is volume. For the small elemental volume, integrate it all the elements so that we will get the total strain energy of the entire body. Now half I will just dV I can write stress transpose into strain. What is dV? dV can be written as area of the element into dx, that is the small elemental portion which we have considered, that is a dx. Now this can be written as half integration of, where stress I will substitute as EBU. What is EBU? That is Young's modulus into strain. Young's modulus into strain, that is stress can be written as E into strain by using Hooke's law. E into strain is nothing but BU. This is the strain matrix for an element of a 1D bar that we will discuss in the next page, how to derive the strain and stress matrix. Here what is B now? This is the strain displacement matrix. B is it is given by 1 by LE minus 1 1. This is a strain displacement matrix, okay, which is given by strain is equal to B into U, which is used to establish the relation between strain and displacement. Okay, this strain we will write directly. The strain is given by change in length by original length. We will write directly for this element U2 minus U1 by LE, change in displacement between the two nodes divided by length of the element. This can be written as in matrix form. If you write then 1 by LE minus 1 1 into U1 U2. If you multiply it also, you will get 1 by LE minus 1 into U1 minus U1 1 into U2 plus U2 minus U1 plus U2 divided by LE, that is minus U1 plus U2 divided by LE. This expression can be written in matrix form, and in this 1 by LE into minus 1 1 is nothing but B matrix, that is the strain displacement matrix. That's why in short it can be written as BU. Okay, if strain is equal to B into U, then stress can be written as EBU, because E into strain is nothing but that is the stress from Hooke's law. Now I will substitute for stress is equal to EBU and strain is equal to BU into this equation. Then you will get where B is the strain displacement matrix 1 by LE minus 1 1, U is equal to U1 U2. Okay, now strain energy can be written as half. I will put U transpose outside, because if you substitute EBU for stress and BU for strain, just I will put U transpose outside and integration of, I will use first, okay, I will use here B transpose, next B into E into A and dx. This is the integration of these terms into outside. I will write U term. Like this you can rearrange this strain energy equation like this. After that, once you write this strain energy equation, is it in this form? You can observe here this strain energy equation is in this form. Strain energy is equal to half U transpose KE into U. Okay, that is U transpose, that is the displacement U and U. If you multiply both, you will get displacement square. Okay, where Ke is the stiffness. Is it in this is it strain energy? This expression is this strain energy expression, is it in the form of strain energy for spring, that is half Kx square, where x is the displacement of the spring and K is the stiffness of the spring, that is half Kx square, that is x square is nothing but here displacement square, that is K. Okay, now we can write here, therefore this Ke, where Ke is the stiffness of this stiffness matrix for this element. Now this Ke is the element stiffness matrix, and it is written as, just we will extract only this term that will represent the stiffness matrix for a 1D bar element, that is integration of B transpose BEA dx. Okay. Now to derive the stiffness matrix by integrating this term, I will just replace dx by d zeta. What is this zeta? Zeta is nothing but it is the natural coordinate. It is the natural coordinate. In other video also we have discussed the natural coordinates. Zeta is the natural coordinate for 1D, zeta and eta are the natural coordinates for 2D. Okay, here we will consider for 1D only zeta coordinates. Okay, zeta coordinates are the dimensionless numbers. We are using 0 and unity, so that I will use the natural coordinates. Since dx has to be replaced by d zeta, then LE has to be replaced, limits have to be replaced from zeta is equal to -1 to +1, because the zeta values for an element having two nodes, that is zeta is -1 at left side and to the right side zeta is +1 value. Okay, we will put the limits -1 to +1. First we will replace dx by d zeta. We know that the relation between zeta and x, zeta, that is zeta is the natural coordinate and x is the Cartesian coordinate. And what is the relation between this Cartesian coordinate and the natural coordinate? It is given by zeta is equal to 2 into x minus x1 by x2 minus x1. Zeta is equal to 2 into x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1, where x2 minus x1 is nothing but that is the length of the element LE. How do you say this is the length of the element LE? If you consider this where x1 and x2, x1 is the position of the node 1 from the origin, and x2 is the position of the node 2 from the origin. Okay, now I want to know what is the length of this element. Then you should subtract x1 from x2. x2 minus x1 will become the length of the element LE. Okay, therefore now this one 2 into x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now I will differentiate this expression with respect to x d zeta by dx. I will get d zeta by dx will be 2 divided by x2 minus x1. Then what is 2 by x2 minus x1? What is x2 minus x1? That is LE. Okay, 2 by LE. D zeta by dx we got 2 divided by LE. Therefore, what is dx now? We have to replace dx. Dx is equal to LE by 2 into d zeta. Now just you replace dx by d zeta like this by putting dx value here, and also change the limits from -1 to +1. Here it is written as stiffness matrix is equal to -1 to +1 limits EA. I will write same B transpose into B into what is the dx? LE by 2 d zeta. Okay, now next it can be written as EA B transpose B LE by 2 into what is the integration of zeta? That is 1 d zeta. That is the integration of zeta is integration of constant with respect to zeta. 1 with respect to zeta will become zeta only, and putting the limits -1 to +1 to this zeta, you will get 2 only. You will get 2 by putting the limits -1 to +1. That is zeta is +1 minus of putting the zeta value -1, you will get +1 +1 2. Okay, by applying the upper limit and lower limit, by putting these values, you will get 2 value. Then stiffness matrix KE is equal to B transpose B EA into LE by 2 into 2. 2 gets cancelled. What remains? B transpose B EA LE. Now what we will do now? We will get the product of this B transpose and B. Now in the next page you can observe here. What is B here? We know that there is a strain displacement matrix. Just now we have discussed in the previous page, 1 by LE into -1 1, that is the B matrix. And what is the transpose of B matrix? That is B transpose, that is 1 by LE -1 1, that is row has become column now. Now next B transpose into B, this product we require. Okay, how do you multiply it? B transpose, we know that you write B transpose here into what is B matrix? This is the B matrix. if you multiply these two matrices B transpose and B, we will get 1 by LE into 1 by LE, 1 by LE square. Next, first row, first column, since these two matrices will have the order, this matrix is having the order 2 cross 1 and this matrix is having the order 1 cross 2, then if you multiply these two matrices, we will get the order of the matrix 2 cross 2. That is the resulting matrix we want. Okay, now if you multiply it, first row, first column, minus 1 into minus 1, we will get 1 plus 1. Next, first row, second column, minus 1 into 1, minus 1. Next, we got first row, second column. Next, second row, first column, 1 into minus 1, we got minus 1 here, second row, first column. Next, second row, second column, 1 into 1, we got plus 1. Like this, we got 4 stiffness terms, 4 values of this product, 1 by LE square, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. Now we will write the stiffness matrix AE into LE, AE LE into B transpose into B is given by this. Just now we got the product. Okay, then 1 LE gets cancelled. What remains? Only 1 LE in the denominator. Then stiffness matrix for 1D bar element, we got AE by LE into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This is what the resulting stiffness matrix for 1D bar element. What is the order of the stiffness matrix we got? 2 cross 2, because at each node 1 degree of freedom. Hence 2 nodes, 2 degrees of freedom, we will get order of the stiffness matrix 2 cross 2. This is one of the property of the stiffness matrix that already we know. Okay, now what are these, what is the information for the element? Now where A is the area of the cross-sectional area of the element, E is the Young's modulus of the material of the element, LE is the length of the element. By using this formula, we can generate the stiffness matrices for all the elements of a bar problem. Then we can assemble those matrices to get the global stiffness matrix and so on. Okay, now by using potential energy approach, we have derived the stiffness matrix, and also by using direct approach also we have derived from the strength of materials definition of stiffness, we have derived the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element using direct approach, and using potential energy approach, that is strain energy, by using strain energy we have derived the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element. In both the cases we got the stiffness matrix AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. I hope you have understood. In the question paper, FEM question paper, if you are asked to derive simply the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element, you may go for direct approach. If it is specifically asked you to derive the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element using potential energy approach, then you should use this potential energy approach method only, not direct method. Okay. Now next we will move on to derive the strain and stress matrix for 1D bar element. How to derive the strain and stress matrix? Okay, we know that by using the definition of strain and stress and Hooke's law from the strength of materials, we can derive this strain and stress matrix. Okay, now for that, for 1D bar element, you consider 1D bar element having 2 nodes, 1 and 2. At each node, as we know, 1 degree of freedom. Okay, let us consider the coordinate systems here. Now I have considered the coordinate system, Cartesian coordinates. Let x1 be the position of node 1 from the origin, x2 be the position of node 2 from the origin. Then we will get the length of the element will be x2 minus x1. Okay, also in the natural coordinates, the position of the node 1 zeta is minus 1 and position of node 2 zeta is equal to plus 1, because the origin exists at the center of the bar, that is 0, that is zeta is equal to 0 at the center of the bar. Then to the left side it is minus, to the right side it is plus. In shape functions, in other videos you will come to know. Okay, what are the natural coordinates? Okay, natural coordinate values, these are fixed values which are dimensionless numbers, and these are unity. This is at node 1 it is minus 1 and it is at node 2 it is plus 1. Now consider this 1D bar element with 2 nodes, at each node 1 degrees of freedom, whose coordinates are x1 and x2 from origin, and in natural coordinates the position of the nodes are zeta is equal to minus 1 and plus 1. Okay, Now what do you mean by strain? Strain is nothing but it is the change in length divided by original length. If you consider as a small section of the element of length dx and the change in displacement, let us say it is du, then the strain is given by, it is the ratio of the du by dx. Then I will consider, let us write the strain is equal to du by dx. What is du by dx? This du by dx can be written in this form. Let us write du by dx in this form: du by d zeta into d zeta by dx. Du by d zeta into d zeta by dx. In this form also you can write du by dx. Now let us find these two terms, du by d zeta and d zeta by dx separately. We know that in other video of shape function we have discussed what is shape function. Shape functions are used to establish the relationship between the field variable and the variables at the nodes, where n1 and n2 are the shape functions. Okay, that is u is equal to ni ui. That means depending on the number of nodes the shape functions can be written. Okay, from that I will write u is equal to, since there are two nodes, I will write n1 u1 and plus n2 u2, where n1 and n2 are the shape functions at the nodes 1 and 2. Okay, now this u is equal to, what is n1 and n2? N1 and n2 are the shape functions at nodes 1 and 2. Already we have derived in other videos, we have discussed the shape functions for linear element 1D linear element having two nodes. n1 is equal to 1 minus zeta by 2 and n2 is equal to 1 plus zeta by 2. These are the derived shape functions for a 1D linear element having two nodes, that we will substitute here. U is equal to, n1 is 1 minus zeta by 2 into u1 plus n2 is 1 plus zeta by 2 into u2. Now once you substitute this, after that let us first find du by d zeta. Let us differentiate this expression into with respect to zeta. If you differentiate this expression with respect to zeta, du by d zeta, you will get first term minus u1 by 2, second term plus u2 by 2. Okay, differentiating u with respect to zeta. Next we got du by d zeta by differentiating this expression with respect to zeta, minus u1 by 2 plus u2 by 2. This can be written as u2 minus u1 by 2. We got u2 minus u1 by 2 du by d zeta. And what is d zeta by dx? How do you calculate d zeta by dx? We know that the relation between natural coordinates and the Cartesian coordinates, zeta is equal to into x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1 minus 1. Now what is differentiate this zeta expression with respect to x? We will get, already we have discussed in the previous derivation, d zeta by dx is equal to 2 divided by x2 minus x1. What is x2 minus x1? That is the that is the length of the element, that is Le. Okay, now 2 divided by x2 minus x1, that is equal to 2 by Le. Now d zeta by dx we got 2 by Le, du by d zeta u2 minus u1 by u2 minus u1 by 2. Now let us find the strain. Strain is equal to du by d zeta into d zeta by dx. Let us substitute du by d zeta u2 minus u1 by 2 into d zeta by dx is 2 by Le. From this, by using this product, if you multiply, you will get strain is equal to 2 gets cancelled here, u2 minus u1 by Le. That already, this is what an expression for strain we are using to determine the strain value for strain in each element for bar problems. For solving the problems on bars, we have used this formula, change in displacement between the two nodes, u2 minus u1 divided by length of the element. Okay, I hope you have understood. Therefore strain we got u2 minus u1 by Le, that is strain in each element is given by u2 minus u1, that is change in displacement between the two nodes divided by length of the element Le. Okay, now this strain can be written as in matrix form. If you write, you will get strain is equal to 1 by Le minus 1 into u1 u2. if you write this strain equation in matrix form, u2 minus u1 by Le in matrix form, if you write, you will get like this. If you multiply also, you will get same, 1 by Le into minus 1 into u1 minus u1 plus 1 into u2 minus u1 plus u2 is u2 minus u1, 1 by into 1 by Le, that is u2 minus u1 by Le you will get. Okay, if you write this in matrix form, we can write strain is equal to, this matrix can be represented by B, let us say, and this is U, where U is the displacement vector and strain is the strain matrix, that is the strain for a single element. And what is B? B is the strain displacement matrix. B is called strain displacement matrix, which establishes the relation between the strain and the displacement, that is B. Hence it is called as strain displacement matrix. And strain displacement matrix, therefore it is given by, for 1D bar element, 1 by Le minus 1 1 minus 1 1. Okay, this is also, here also you can go through, you may be asked to derive the strain displacement matrix or simply B matrix for 1D bar element. In the question paper you may be asked to derive the only B matrix. It may be mentioned in the this one derivation. You may be asked to derive the B matrix or strain displacement matrix, then you have to follow the same derivation for a strain matrix, and up to this much you derive. After that you just represent B is equal to 1 by Le into minus 1 1. This is what the strain displacement matrix B matrix. Therefore strain is equal to, we got Bu. Okay, just now in the previous derivation by using potential energy approach, we wrote the strain as B into U, where B is the B matrix, strain displacement matrix into U. Okay, now next, what is stress matrix? Stress matrix, by using Hooke's law, we know that from strength of materials by Hooke's law, stress is Young's modulus into strain. Therefore stress in each element can be found out by using the formula E is into Bu, because strain is Bu, just to substitute for strain Bu, stress is equal to EBu. This also EBu for stress we have used in the potential energy approach derivation. Okay, therefore strain in each element of a 1D bar having two nodes is given by B into U, and that is B into U, that is nothing but U2 minus U1 by Le. If you write it in matrix form, you will get B into U, and stress matrix is given by Young's modulus into strain, that is EBU. Okay, this is what the derivation for stress and strain matrix for 1D bar element. These are all important derivations, my dear students. In the question paper you may be asked to derive the stiffness matrix for a 1D bar element, and also you may be asked to derive the strain and stress matrix for 1D bar element. You follow this procedure and these notes to derive the matrices. Okay, thank you my dear students. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care.